What if everything you thought you knew about weight loss was wrong? Welcome to Guide to Reads, where today we uncover the truth behind one of the most frustrating and misunderstood challenges of modern life: managing our weight. In Diet, Drugs, and Dopamine, former FDA Commissioner David Kessler shatters the myths we've been fed and reveals the real science behind why our bodies resist change, why our brains crave more, and why simple advice like eat less, move more just doesn't cut it. This book is more than a health guide. It's a deep dive into biology, psychology, and the food industry's grip on our habits. Kessler explores how dopamine drives compulsive eating, how hormones like leptin and insulin shape our hunger, and why ultra-processed foods are engineered to keep us hooked. If you're tired of empty promises and ready for a science-based path to lasting change, this episode is for you. Let's dive in. Segment 1. There's nothing simple about weight loss. For decades, the weight loss message has been blunt and frustratingly repetitive. Eat less, move more. As if the human body were a simple equation: calories in, calories out. But Dr. David Kessler, former FDA Commissioner and renowned medical expert, says otherwise. In Diet, Drugs, and Dopamine, he reveals a deeper, more honest truth. Weight loss is not a matter of discipline. It's a matter of biology. Let's start with this. When you reduce your calorie intake, your body doesn't just quietly burn fat. It pushes back. Your metabolism slows down. Hunger hormones like ghrelin surge. You feel fatigued, anxious, even obsessed with food. Your body thinks you're starving, and it fights to keep you alive. This is what Kessler calls the biological defense of fat, the body's natural resistance to weight loss. And it's why most diets fail in the long run, not because people are weak-willed, but because they're up against their own evolution. Complicating things further, modern food isn't just fuel. It's chemically engineered to hijack our brains. Highly processed, hyperpalatable products light up our dopamine circuits, just like addictive drugs. They override natural fullness signals and train us to eat not because we're hungry, but because we crave reward. So no, there's nothing simple about weight loss. It's not laziness. It's not lack of motivation. It's a fight between biology and an environment designed to exploit it. But knowledge is power. And the first step to real change is letting go of the myth that it's all just about willpower. You're not broken, the system is. And with the right understanding, you can begin to outsmart it. Segment 2. Toxic food programs, our bodies for obesity. Walk into any grocery store and you're bombarded with choices, colorful packages, sweet aromas, seductive flavors. But beneath the bright labels and clever marketing lies a hard truth. Most of this isn't food, it's product. Dr. David Kessler calls it toxic food. Not because it poisons us instantly, but because it rewires our biology, meal by meal, bite by bite. These processed foods are carefully designed, to override your body's natural signals. Salt, sugar, fat, layered and manipulated to perfection. They don't nourish, they stimulate. Every time you eat that cheeseburger or glazed donut, your brain's dopamine system lights up. You feel good, not satisfied, but rewarded, and what gets rewarded gets repeated. Over time, these dopamine-driven cravings start running the show. You eat not because you're hungry, but because your brain is hooked on the high. Your hunger signals become confused, your fullness cues go silent. It's not just poor choices, it's a neurological trap. Kessler describes how these ultra-processed foods literally program the brain to crave more, even when the body has had enough. It's a vicious cycle: craving, consumption, dopamine hit, craving again. And the body? It stores the excess as fat, while the brain keeps shouting, more. But here's the revolutionary part. Once you understand how this system works, you can begin to break free from it. The goal isn't shame, it's clarity. Because when you realize that your cravings are being engineered, you can stop blaming yourself and start reclaiming control. Segment 3. It's not just about calories. In and calories out. For decades, we've been sold a simple formula: eat fewer calories, burn more, lose weight. But if it were really that simple, why would millions of people trying their hardest still struggle? Dr. Kessler pulls back the curtain on this outdated equation and reveals a far more complex and fascinating reality. Weight isn't just about willpower, it's about biology. And behind every pound gained or lost lies a delicate dance of hormones, gut microbes, and genetic inheritance. Take leptin, for example, the hormone that tells your brain, "I'm full." In a healthy system, leptin helps regulate appetite, but in many people living with obesity, that system gets blunted. The brain doesn't hear the signal, so the person keeps eating, not out of greed, but out of miscommunication. Then there's insulin, the hormone that manages blood sugar. Too much processed sugar, too often, and the body becomes insulin resistant, pushing more glucose into fat storage, even if you're eating the same amount. And deep within your belly lives another unseen player, the gut microbiome, trillions of bacteria that can shape your cravings, digestion, and metabolism. Some gut profiles encourage fat storage, others protect against it. Your weight story may, quite literally, begin in your intestines. And let's not forget genes, those inherited blueprints that can make weight gain easier for some and harder for others. No two bodies are identical. So why do we give everyone the same advice? Kessler's message is clear. If we want to understand weight, we must honor its complexity. It's time to stop shaming people for what's happening inside their biology and start building a more compassionate, science-based approach to health. Segment 4. The Miracle Cure. That doesn't exist. We live in an age of instant solutions, one-click shopping, same-day delivery, and when it comes to weight loss, we're promised the same magic. Lose 10 pounds in 10 days. This drink melts belly fat while you sleep. One secret food that burns fat fast. But as Dr. David Kessler makes crystal clear, there is no miracle, no shortcut, no magic pill. In fact, the endless cycle of quick fixes, fad diets, detoxes, fat burners, may be doing more harm than good, not just to our bodies, but to our hope. These so-called solutions often backfire, triggering rebound weight gain, metabolic confusion, and deep feelings of failure. They create the illusion that weight loss is a switch you can flip, and when it doesn't work, we blame ourselves, not the false promise. But Kessler offers something radically honest and far more empowering. Sustainable weight management isn't about hacks or gimmicks. It's about daily habits, consistent, compassionate choices that support the body over time. It's about learning to tune in, not zone out, to nourish, not punish, to trade the rush of fast results for the resilience of lasting change. This isn't the message you'll hear in most commercials, but it's the message we need most. Because true transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens when we stop chasing miracles and start building a foundation, one steady step at a time. Segment 5. Don't dismiss the diet. Let's be clear, diet alone isn't the villain. Yes, we've seen how overly simplistic advice like just eat less fails. Yes, we know processed foods hijack our biology. And yes, weight is about more than calories. Hormones, microbiome, genetics, all play their part. But here's the truth. What we eat still matters, deeply. Dr. Kessler doesn't throw out the concept of diet. He refines it. He grounds it in science, not trends. Because not all diets are created equal, and some, backed by research, can be powerful allies. Take whole, unprocessed foods. They stabilize insulin, calm inflammation, and reset hunger cues. They help us feel full naturally, without trickery or deprivation. This isn't about keto or paleo or going vegan overnight. It's about returning to what the body recognizes as food. Real ingredients, honest flavors, nutrients with purpose. Kessler's approach isn't restrictive, it's restorative. It's not about obsessing over what to cut. It's about rediscovering what truly nourishes. In a world where food is engineered for addiction, choosing real balanced meals becomes a quiet act of rebellion, and a loud declaration of self-respect. So no, don't dismiss the diet. Redefine it. Reclaim it. Make it a tool for healing, not punishment. Segment 6. Weight management has a mental dimension. Weight isn't just a number on the scale. It's a story written in our minds as much as in our bodies. Dr. David Kessler reminds us that behind every craving, every bite, every slip, lies a complex dance of motivation, emotion, and brain chemistry. At the heart of this dance is dopamine, the brain's messenger of reward and desire. When you eat that sugary treat or salty snack, dopamine surges. You don't just taste pleasure. You feel driven, compelled, even obsessed. But dopamine is a double-edged sword. It motivates us to seek reward, yes. But it can also trap us in cycles of stress eating, binging, and self-sabotage. When life gets hard, many turn to food for comfort, not hunger, and dopamine, wired to reward, reinforces this behavior. It's no accident that emotional eating often feels irresistible. Kessler's message is hopeful. Understanding this mental landscape is key to lasting change. Weight management isn't just about resisting temptation. It's about rewiring the brain's reward system. This means developing new habits that create healthier dopamine responses. Finding joy and motivation in movement, mindfulness, and meaningful activities. Building emotional resilience so food no longer fills the gaps left by stress or loneliness. It's a mental journey as much as a physical one. And the path to wellness begins when we stop fighting ourselves and start learning how our minds work. Final summary. David Kessler's Diet, Drugs, and Dopamine shatters the illusion that weight loss is simple willpower, or a matter of eating less and moving more. Instead, it reveals a complex battle, one where biology, environment, and brain chemistry conspire against us, while processed foods hijack our cravings and confuse our bodies. But the story doesn't end in defeat. There is hope in understanding, hope in recognizing that our struggles are not failures, but signs of a system rigged to challenge us. Hope in reclaiming control through science-backed habits, real nourishment, and mindful mental care. Weight management is not a quick fix. It's a journey of patience, discipline, and compassion for ourselves. A journey where body and mind align to create lasting transformation. Thank you for joining us on Guide to Reads, where every book guides us not just to knowledge, but to deeper wisdom and change. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe to stay with us as we explore more books that illuminate the paths to health, happiness, and freedom. Until next time, nourish your body, empower your mind, and walk boldly toward your best self.